Hi, I'm Brian Malow, and I'm coming to you live from Lindau, Germany, where it's the site of the 72nd Lindau Nobel Laureate meeting. There are 600 young scientists here. Most of them are right behind me right now, and 40 Nobel laureates. Big themes this year are diversity, climate change, and AI. And the project we're just going to discuss also involves more than one subject, but AI is one of the subjects. This is my second interview with the two finalist teams from the third Online Sciathon. Because of the pandemic a couple years ago and the impossibility of bringing 600 scientists to the island, the Lindau team created a sciathon, like a hackathon, and teams composed of people all over the world participated in this 48-hour event to develop an idea as far as they can and then present it. And this year, because we're all here on site, there's this added aspect of how many teams just presented today? Five? Mm-hmm. Five finalists presented in front of a really interesting team of not judges, but I'll ask them to tell us a little bit more about that. But this is the second team that was chosen as a finalist. So Tillman is an alumnus. You attended a previous Lindau meeting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nobody gets to do that. That's a very rare thing. That's not part of this. It's the common mythology that you can only come to this meeting one time unless you win a Nobel Prize. And for years, there was only one person who ever did that. He attended as a young scientist and then years later won a Nobel Prize. Well, now, as of just a year ago, or just this year, there's a second person that won a Nobel Prize. And then just a fun addition to that, do you know this? There's one scientist, Klaus von Klitzing. He applied to the meeting and was denied. But then he won a Nobel Prize and he comes all the time. So anyway, let's meet this team. The ideas for the Sciathon originated with an alumnus. So that's why we have an alumnus here. So Tillman, you were here last year?
Yeah, I was here last year.
That's a chemistry meeting.
Exactly.
What kind of scientist are you?
I'm a polymer researcher, but I'm in between polymer science and biotechnology. Yeah, I want to combine biotechnology with polymer science by immobilizing enzymes on polymeric sheets. Yeah. That's basically the idea that I proposed, because there's so much potential in materializing biotechnology.
So I'm a non-scientist, so all the potential you're talking about isn't obvious to me. Can you tell me what that means?
Yeah, so biotechnology in itself is advancing rapidly, right? We have Francis Arnold here, Nobel Laureate, who's doing direct evolution of enzymes to engineer them. And they can replace basically so many chemical reactions in the chemical industry. You can use enzymes, they're more sustainable, for example. And if you materialize those enzymes on a polymeric surface, you add some advantages. For example, they're more stable, you can recycle them, or you can use them on certain surfaces for applications. Like what we want to do, what we propose is to use them on the wound to sense actually the inflammation in wounds, to sense infiltration from pathogens.
Excellent. So let's meet the rest of your team. Yeah, maybe can you tighten up? It's hard for me to get everybody in, but if you guys on the edge can come in. So were there other members of the team that aren't here?
Yes.
Yes, they couldn't be here personally.
Right.
Essentially.
But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you.
Yeah.
So let's meet you.
So I'm Alba, I'm from Spain, but I'm working in the Institute of Clinical and Experimental Research in Brussels, Belgium.
What kind of scientist are you?
I'm a biotechnologist, but I'm working on immunology mainly. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Amit Khurana. I'm from India. I'm a graduate in pharmacy and did my PhD in pharmacology and toxicology. And currently I'm working as a postdoctoral fellow at the RWTH Aachen University. And my specialization is chronic inflammation and fibrosis. In the context of our Biosheets project, I was involved in thinking about the research problem in the area of chronic wound injury, and then thinking about what can be the way we identify a bacteria and then sense it.
Yeah, I should say this year's meeting is a medicine physiology meeting, and the Sciathon basically had a medicine physiology theme as well.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm Herman, I'm Colombian. I work in Switzerland. I'm by training a cell biologist, also molecular biologist, and I contributed to the cell biological part of the Biosheets.
Excellent.
Yeah, hello. I'm Faris, I'm from Oman. I'm a medical doctor in Sultan Qaboos University. I have contributed to this project as I challenged the team with the medical problems and they tried to find a solution for it. The problem this time it's a chronic wound that is getting infected and they are trying to prevent this infection.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Patrick Reichertzer. I'm German, but currently work as a Gateway Fellow at the University of Oxford in the UK. And I'm actually a physicist, but I found that project really interesting and could contribute because we also want to monitor the health data of the patients. And I've done similar work in astrophysics, creating a monitoring system for real-time astronomy.
Excellent.
Hello, my name is Alvaro. I'm from Spain and I'm currently doing my PhD in London, United Kingdom. My PhD is on gut neurobiology and I contributed to the work kind of giving a little bit of the perspective of how the gut senses bacteria because of my previous work in some microbiome related aspects.
So tell me something about the Sciathon experience. The Sciathon projects only had to be this 48-hour experience, but this is the third Sciathon, and the previous two have generated a couple projects that have had legs. They've gone on. A little dinosaur just flew by, right through us, I think. But they're very bold here. But some of those projects are continuing on and have even gotten funding. And part of the idea with the finalists presenting here was they were presenting in front of people that might be interested in helping support the project. So, but let's first talk about just the Sciathon experience. What was that like? You had team members all over the world trying to collaborate from different time zones in one 48-hour period, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it was an amazing experience. We didn't know. I think all of us didn't really know what's going to happen. So I prepared some little bit like a Google Doc where we can help us to work together, and then we met all the first time Friday, I think 5 o'clock in the evening, Central European time, and because we had people in the US, for example, as well, or from Oman, and yeah, we came together and proposed this idea. We brainstormed. The first day we were keeping it a bit like brainstorming, going crazy, and then the second day really focusing because we had to, in the end, publish a paper, but submit like a 3-page paper to the jury, and also a video, a 2-minute video which summarizes our idea. It was a lot of adrenaline, and it was a lot of fun. Not a lot of sleeping.
There were like, was it 27 teams or approximately?
Yes.
27 teams, 5 finalists presented here, actually at a building just behind us, and then there wasn't a clear winner. There were 2 winning teams, and so anyone else have a comment about the Sciathon experience?
It was really crazy. I mean, it was a super great experience because you get to know people from all over the world that you barely know because you just met it on the day when the Sciathon starts, and then you really have to focus and to join forces and to go straight to the point in 48 hours. So it was completely crazy, but super nice experience.
Another amazing thing what happened was that we happened to have such a diverse expertise, which was never thought that when Tillman must have proposed it, but the team actually eventually became, there was pharmacologist, biologist, biotechnologist, AI expert, a medical doctor, so it became a complete team. It was exciting experience, and before we came, we were close friends already. So it was like, you never feel alone after coming to Lindau.
And just to add, like one highlight is really now to meet in person here and then having this great presentation, that great in-person event and winning in the end. So that was really, really great experience.
Excellent. And now, following up on what you said, at the end of this week, on Friday, when we visit this other beautiful island of Malow, as it was pointed out at some point in the opening ceremony last night, on the trip back, you'll no longer be young scientists in the parlance of the meeting, but you'll be part of the Lindau Alumni Network. And Tillman, you already, now it's only been 1 year, but do you have anything to say about the alumni experience? Has anything else, has there been any other networking? I know it's only been 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely kept in contact with a couple of colleagues, yeah. So I made friends here, and okay, one was easy because she lives in Mainz and we already came here together, and she's at the Neighbor Institute and we have lunch regularly. But a couple of people I'm in contact with, and to be honest, the best thing that came out was the Sciathon now, right? And I couldn't have imagined to be here again. It's a bit of a wild stream to see everything repeating again.
Yeah, you know, I saw that after the presentation, I saw you were in discussions with some of the people that were watching. So do you think this project is going to continue?
Oh yes, we actually got a very positive feedback from one of the foundation member. He said that if I had the money, I would surely fund you.
But I don't, so I won't.
Right now, he does not have the money. So
But he's interested.
He is interested. He said that I would definitely fund if I had the money with me.
Well, that's great.
That was a great comment.
So let's talk about Lindau. It's only the first full day. We had the opening ceremony, 2 short lectures, and 1 panel discussion. But have there been any highlights so far? Anyone want to talk about the Lindau experience so far, and also anything you're looking forward to?
Well, we've been already talking to some of the Nobel laureates. We were exchanging kind of deep conversations on how to manage personal life with high impact science, how to manage a lab, how to choose the right people, and obviously they encourage us, all of us, to really ask them questions and to get into all the doubts that we might have as still very young people starting our careers and maybe reaching some good goals for humanity in the end.
Excellent. And let me throw this in. Were there any laureates that you were looking forward to meeting before you got here? And
I was looking forward to meeting Emmanuel Charpentier, and I did get almost more than an hour yesterday to talk to her. And she was very open, and she shared many insights from her research about the way research questions should be addressed, her own life experiences, how did she stumble upon discovering CRISPR-Cas9. So it was amazing. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, for me, for example, it was also Frances Arnold, who is a super nice woman, professionally and personally, because she's super open. Like, you could see the people approaching to her like a bit shy or ashamed to talk to a Nobel laureate, and she was like, yeah, come here, don't hesitate, and she was super nice. And I personally admire her a lot, so it was really, really nice to meet her face to face.
And her presentation last night was
superb.
excellent.
It was incredible.
It may be the best one of the week. It just, she set a very high bar. In terms of, I thought it was of interest to all the scientists. It was just as interesting to the non-scientist, and she didn't sound scripted, and she was so charming and funny. It was great. What a great presentation.
Perfect balance between being rigorous and being dynamic in the presentation. So
It was superb.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's brilliant.
So for me, it was a very highlight also to meet Emmanuel Charpentier and Arnold. I was surprised, in particular, how you can transform enzymes that are doing another job to make them do something completely different. It's amazing how you can mold newly biology basically out of nothing. It's amazing. I was very impressed by her also.
Yeah, I love what she was saying about, like, biologists are limited to studying the proteins that exist in nature, but engineers can study the realm of every possible protein that could exist, and that what possibilities are in that there.
Her speech was astonishing. In general, engineering in biology is an astonishing field, and what I like the most is the friendly environment here that Lindau provides. that you can easily approach Nobel Laureate that you could have never dreamt of. And what exactly attracts me that these concepts were reading about it in the medical textbooks or explained by in our country by a doctor there explained these concepts, but to get explained by the very people who discovered it, it tastes different.
Excellent. Patrick, did you?
Yeah, so my highlight was basically just the experience that we just had. Not only having us here as the team presenting, but also listening and watching the other presentations from the Sciathon. All of them were really great, and it was really one of my highlights so far, seeing also the other nice projects emerging, and yeah, hopefully a continuation of them in the future.
Well, congratulations on the whole thing, from the Sciathon to Lindau, and there's so much more ahead. So thanks, and thanks for taking the time to join me. And we'll sign off.
We are enjoying the Lindau spirit.
You are the Lindau spirit.